Hi everyone. I'm here to make two projects with you today using the Globeland products that they were kind enough to send to me. So this is one of the videos I promised them, a tutorial, and today we're going to make this steampunk card. So what we need here is from the Globeland, we need the stamp set out of that bunch of stamps that they were kind enough to send me. It was in this. Here's the number, if you can see it. And I will have it linked down below. As far as I know, this one is still available, but I will check before we before this goes up. So we're going to use that, and then also we're going to use. Oh, I just lost some of my pieces. We're going to use the set of 2 gears. Now that one I know, when I checked last, was no longer available. However, they do have other gear type things on their website if you're interested. And I want to show you before we get into the card. These are the individual pieces that came out. I tested on a thick white cardstock because I wanted to use metallic cardstock for this. Now this one I left, it came in a set of 2 and they're identical. I left this one together, and when I first die cut there, I left it together, and you can see I ran this through back, forth, back, forth, back, forth 6 times, maybe 8 times. I could not get these middle ones to come out right, and there were a few like this that the thing popped out, but I can't get all the little bits out of it. I think there were 2 of those. So then I thought, well, what if I take them apart? Will it work better? Yes, it definitely worked better. I redid them, and it's the ones that have these little bars that gave me the most trouble even then. Now, that said, I then said, okay, well, it seems to be working individually. I ran it through with this brushed metallic copper. I guess that's copper, maybe bronze. I ran it through individually on here and no problem whatsoever. Now this, maybe it's a little thinner than the thick white. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was a thick white. One sec. But anyway, all the bits and bobs came right out. I did go back and forth, you know, 3 times, so ran it through the machine basically 6 times. I'm kind of thinking that the white was an issue because of the placement. Um, I don't know, because it's kind of in the middle of all the gears. Like all these came out okay, and these here at this end came out okay, but these ones in the middle just didn't. Or maybe it's because there's bigger pieces of metal, you know, these parts here in between than there are. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure why they wouldn't cut out the first time, but they ended up cutting out of the metallic and individually fine. So if they become available, or if you get other gear die sets and they're all hooked together, take them apart. It works better. Okay, so that's my lesson for that. And then I think that's about it for lessons. Now I am bringing in some other things, but let's get started. So I already have, I only used about half to 2/3 of the gears on here. So I have the rest of them somewhere in a bag. Somewhere in a bag. 1 second. Okay, I found the rest of the gears. I think we'll have enough for this card. If not, we'll die cut a couple more, just individually. So a couple other things I'm going to bring in are that aren't from Globeland. I found these. These were from Firefly that I'd gotten from Tuesday morning, and I have more of them. But I might use this. I might use this. And I have to use different sentiments because I don't have them anymore. These blings that are from Stampin' Up. And I was going to use this twine, but I didn't like it on it, so I didn't. And I also, before I found those other bling, I was thinking of using 1 or 2 of these. We might. I don't know yet. And then I have cracked pistachio distress oxide ink, and I thought I had a black and or gray distress oxide, but I don't, so I'm using basic gray by Stampin' Up, and amalgam ink by Gina K, some dauber spongy things, and also these metallic rub-on inks. I don't know who they're by. I bought them from Jen Ever when she was doing it, and I used the gunmetal-y color one, but there's also like a bronze in here that would be cool. Maybe we'll try that this time. I don't know. I was having a play, and then all the stamps I used were the film strip, the postage stamp, the arrows, this arrived stamp, and the train. So, you know, that was one of the stamp sets I thought, oh, I'll probably not ever use that, but I think it's pretty perfect for steampunk. So, yeah, and I used the ones that didn't, I mean, this says Zurich, but it's small and it doesn't show up on here. So, yeah, I'm using that. And, of course, the gears and some gray cardstock scraps. And one other thing is I had this horsehair embossing folder in my stash, so we're going to use that too. So that's it for this project. So the first thing I want to do is stamp the train and the little arrows with black ink on, this is basic gray cardstock that I have. And I stamp them, I didn't use the, you know, stamping platform. I used blocks, and I just made sure it was really inked up well. And let's do the arrows. Well, we'll leave it out. I think that's, yeah, it needs a little more. I can see it sort of marbled down here at the bottom. I want a real dark black impression. And I'm going to put it as far down as I can because I need to fussy cut it. And I'm just pushing straight down, don't rock it. Okay. And that should be it. There we go. And now I'm going to do the arrows. I guess I can do them on that same piece. I had little strips out, but we don't really need that. And we're going to cut them or put them up as close to the top. Maybe we'll do 3 this time. I think I will, because we had to fussy cut them out too. All right, and then I was just using a baby wipe that actually had dried out, and I added a little more water to it. So let's just wipe them off real quick. And I actually have it in the top of my trash can. I'm continuing to use it, but I don't have anywhere to sit it on my desk, so it's on a piece of plastic in my trash. Now, on the black card base, what I do with it. When I did this one, I didn't stamp some of these things until after the embossing was done, but we're going to stamp on it first this time, because I think that'll show up better. So, I'm going to stamp this here. Actually, I normally prefer to go ink pad to stamp. Oh well. You can do it this way too. It's just louder. Just louder. And I'm going to put that over here. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't all show up on these, because it's going to be covered with this one. I might wait and do after, and we might add some other ones too. This one I had like here. Maybe we'll do another one of those down here in front of where the train goes. And we don't really need, well, we'll put one up here, and then maybe we'll do another one once we put the words on and after we emboss. Okay, that should be it for the stamping, I think, for now. So let me wipe them off. And they're just tone on tone. I'm sorry, I'm off screen. You probably can't even see them very well, but they're there. And if I need to put more on as we go, we'll do that. All right. That has a piece of rubber on there. There we go. I'm one who has to clean my stamps as I go, because if I don't, the ink will get dried on there, and I don't like my stamps to look bad when I pull them out the next time. Okay, see, this is a little bit of a messy process, just so you know. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in, actually, the first thing we're going to do next is I'm going to bring in a scrap piece. I'm going to take the basic gray ink. If you have a darker ink, I didn't want to go black, but I'm going to go around the edges with this. And then I'm going to smoosh around like this. Just, actually I'm going to tear that part too, so we'll, but I'll tear it after we emboss. I just want to give it some little more edginess to it. Now I am out of my league with Steampunk, but I think that card came out okay. Let me know what you think. And yeah, so I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it maybe a little more, especially on these edges over here that I'm not tearing. And we can do it again on the edge I tear afterwards. I really want it under where the train is going to go. Okay, that's enough for now. And maybe I'll go over it with a darker color later. All right, let's run this through the embossing. Now, before we do that, we're going to take the cracked pistachio and we're going to do ink it on the side that this has the rougher side, so that's going to bump the impression up on this side. So I want it on this side, and I'm going to do it mostly on the top. And if you want, you can wet this. I don't know exactly the placement on my card, so I'm doing it all over. I'm giving it a good coating of the green because I want it to look like that aged, you know, like when things age, metal ages and stuff. All right, so we're going to put that in here. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, well, I don't know why that didn't work as well as the first time. Maybe I wet the paper the first time, so I'll show you what we're going to do to remedy that. As soon as I wipe this off again, I like to clean things. I think I would have spritzed that paper first before running it through the embossing, and I think it would have deepened the green. No worries. Now, first thing, let's rip this. I'm ripping to the back because I don't want this fluffy edge on the front of my card. But if you want that, then you go for it. I want a little more off up here, I think. Oops, see, I did it wrong. And there we go. That's what happened. I kind of want it edgier. Not there. That's pretty good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take the cracked pistachio and just put a couple spots on. And I'm also going to take that brush and just go along the edge here again. And then I'm going to bring in the metallic. Now I'm using my finger because I feel like I have more control. You do however you want. I just want some shine on here and just various places. Not a whole lot, some. Now this is going to be covered up a lot by the wheels, so I don't want too much there. Maybe a little bit along the edge there. And maybe a little bit along the edge there. That's enough. Just a few, little few touches of the gray. It is messy. See, this is messy day. Messy day. And if you want, you can, rub them in a little more, however you want to do it. I don't know the brand on those, so I apologize. Oh, you know what? It's covered by the sticker. Let's see. Nope, it tore. Jim Allred Supply in North Carolina. That's as much as I know. And like I said, I got them off Jen Evers when she used to do the sales. But she isn't now. All right, so now we have to fussy cut. These will be easy. I'm going to do this off camera. You don't need to watch me fussy cut. Okay, off fussy cut. Ooh, I kind of like that, hanging off the card like that. I'm going to darken this up a little bit, especially like the smoke and stuff. I don't want it to be such a lighter gray, even though it's a darker gray cardstock. I just want to darken it up a little bit. It's not going to show much darker, but just a little grungier. Grungy, which is how I feel at the moment. Grungy. I'm actually not liking this little piece here. I'm going to snip this off down here. I kind of tried to get in where that black is, but there we go. But I had a little piece there and I didn't. Oops. Well, that's all right. We got some pistachio going in there too. Maybe that's a good thing. I see I missed a spot too to fussy cut. So you get to see a little bit of fussy cut after all. Plus, I don't know what it is with me and circles. They end up with little points on them. And I know you move the paper, not the scissors, and I try that, and I still get little points. Oh, well. I think we will put a little bit of green on here. Just around the gears and stuff. I didn't do that on the first one. Okay, well, now it seems to be out of that ink. Okay, good enough. So, now, before we start putting everything on, do I want to do that? See, you can't really see too much where we stamp, so I think we're going to stamp again. I don't know. I think we'll go with how I had it before, just because. And then these will go up here, but we'll kind of, I think we'll go like this. 3 in a row. Now we have to pick the gears, and we have to pick the sentiment. I like to lay everything out first. Do we want some words down here? Maybe a thinner piece? I'm kind of thinking no. I don't care for it. We could put some black twine across there, but then see, it has like a white, and I don't really want that. All right, so this is what we have to choose from. I'm thinking of moments to remember, but I think I'm going to cut it and have moments to and remember. And then actually we could put the moments to remember, and even this together would be good. Oh, I didn't see this lacy bit. We could try that too. And I do want to darken them up again. Let's see if I like this here. No, I don't. Okay, even if I darken it. So I'm going to put these on the paper, and I'm going to grunge them up a little bit. I think it would be better normally to use a black distress oxide or something, but I don't have that. So we're gonna do this. And I just want them to be a little darker. Oops. Without tearing them or bending them too much. And these little strips, I end up with it all over my fingers, of course. You can use a tweezer to hold. If you don't like to get inky fingers, wear gloves, because you're going to get inky fingers doing this. Because they're very inky by the time we're done this card. I don't know, my ink pad must need, oops, did it again, same place. No, must need re-inking, because it's not, well, that'll make it look even more worn, right? This one needs a little more. Okay. Well, you're seeing it live here. Well, sort of live. You're seeing me do it live. So they're going to be up here, and my arrows are going to be up here. I'm going to do a little more stamping again in the same spots, I think, because you really can't see those stamps at all with the treatments that we did, and they may not show real good still. But we're going to do it again. And like I said, the last time I did it on top. Now the one stamp with the postage, I won't do till after we get the words on. Yeah, see, that shows better. Where's the film strip? And this is the dark gray. You could use a black. Actually, I think I used the black the first time. Oh, I got all kind of fuzzies on there from something. Okay. Let's start, put these over here because my rag is like beyond dirty. Oh, I have to clean my ink pad, clearly. Okay, let's put some of these pieces on. We're going to go ahead and put I need glue. I'm using, look, I actually got my bottles filled with my glue. Like I said, it was going to. The one where the pin was stuck in it for a long while. So that's what I'm using. It's dry fast and it holds well. However, we're doing it on a bumpy surface here. So I need to hold it down a little bit and maybe go like that. Now let's do our little arrows. Which were very easy to fussy cut, guys. You know, I don't like fussy cutting, but these were quite easy to do. There we go. And then this one. If you wanted to, you could put from the ones I purchased, I thought about bringing them in too, but I wanted to do the ones that were for the that weren't purchased. Let's see. Moments to remember. We're going to glue these down. I'm not bumping them up. I figured there's enough texture on the card that we don't really need to bump things up. Because then that just makes it, that almost tore there. It did tear a little bit. It's okay. Adds to the grunge, right? Moments to remember. And together. Like that. Put that on now. I'm going to get that postage stamp. I'm going to get the black ink, actually. I should have used black for that one maybe, but it's okay. And we are going to use this postage stamp looking one. And we're going to just put it right up here. Last time it actually went on the words. I didn't really go for that, but there, just a little, you got a little bit on the remember, so that's cool. Okay, that's all for that. Now for the gears. So, okay, sorry, I didn't have my cleaning cloth. Let's get the gears out and see what we have still. And I kept some of the circles out of the centers, which we could use on the train here, but we'll see. All right, so we have, see, these are very bright bronze or copper. I might overlap them a little more this time. Oh, I have plenty here. Plenty. Actually, let's put this one here. These, I think, are a little bigger than some of the ones I used before. Maybe we'll put one up there this time. And down here. Just want to overlap them. Now let's get some small ones in here. Like that. And that. I feel like we need one up here on this one for some, because that's a more open one. Let's see what we have. Maybe one here. What do you think? I don't know. I'm actually thinking I'm going to put one of them in there. Slide that down a little bit. And, these are kind of plain. I think I'm just going to use this one and overlap it here like that. So that's how I laid it out, and then we can use this in the center, which I guess I'll put on first, which I think I did last time too. And then if I wanted to, I could use some of those gems. Did I do that on the train? No, see, on the last one I just put the one in the center. But I have these two. That one's actually not a circle, but you know, oh well, it's what I have. Yeah, we could go like that. Actually, yeah, we could go like that. Maybe, if it'll cooperate with me. Get on there. There we go. Actually, I think this circle's bigger too. Yeah, they're not the same size. At least the other one's the same size, so I'm going to go with that. Have an octagon and a circle, and then a bigger circle on the train. And the rest of these I'll save for something else. Okay, so let's assemble. Guys, help me remember what I can do. What you can do is take a picture on your phone or something, and it'll help you remember this. I'm also probably, when I go over the gears with a little bit of cracked pistachio ink, I might do a little in other places too, maybe along the edge here, because I'm seeing that the green isn't showing too much except here and right here. So, all right, memory. We're going to do it by memory. Biggest one goes down first. Little one in the middle of it, sort of up towards the upper right corner. And actually, let's do the ones on the train first. I hope I'm not boring you terribly, but this is something, oops, I got a little too much glue on that. It'll dry clear. It's all good. Okay. Just a dab. Just a dab will do. There. And if you have tweezers or something, use them. I do have tweezers. What am I doing? Let's try them with the next one, because I haven't used them yet. I haven't used them yet. All right. If I can get a hold of it. Bring it to the edge. Yay. Oh, I'm going to like those. I'm going to like it if you stay in your spot. Oops, too much glue. Too much glue. All right. Have to get used to the reverse tweezer. I'm not used to that. Okay. Now, let's do the big one. Now with me, actually I could go off the edge. I think I will. And then I'll cut that off. I didn't think of that the last time. So you do it however you like it. You know, it's your card when you make it yourself. But I think it's kind of fun working with these gears. All right. I think this was down here. And I don't worry about adding extra card under it to make it layer evenly or anything like that. I'm going to use these tweezers to hold them down for a minute. I used the blocks like this before, but I don't want to do that till I get them all on. And this was also at the bottom. Oh, I just noticed. Come here, tweezers. I have a couple holes that didn't pop out. 1 and 2. They pop out easy. I just missed them when I was popping them out before. Yep, there. And you do need some kind of fine tip glue. You could use the zig glue that I showed before, or any kind of fine tip glue that you have in your stash. Or even if you don't have that, then use like a sponge and dip it in your wet glue just a little bit at a time and lay it on a non-stick mat. And be careful not to move the piece though, because let's see, I want that on top, I think. Because if you move it, you'll get the glue on the front. And put this one down here. Actually, we'll put it up just a little there, like that. It's not wanting to stay. All right, now let's do these. And then we're going to get out the cracked pistachio and go over them a little bit to make them not quite so shiny. Think up a little bit there. That one hold, that one doesn't want to hold as well. Leave that on there. Okay, and then this one. Hope you're all having a great January so far. I know. Mine has been okay, better than the last 2 weeks of December. Much better, because I'm on the road to recovery when I was pretty ill for the week before Christmas, which came on rather suddenly. And I think, do I want that like that or down lower or here? I think I want it there. I feel like I need one more small one, so I might bring that in a moment. So let's get a small one. We have this one, we just sort of have this solid star. I'll just put this little one right here. Right there. Actually, we could put one up here too. Yeah, why not? We'll go for it. We're gonna go for it, guys. and gals. Gals and guys. Okay, that's enough. We do have one that's just like a hollow. No, I'm not feeling it. Okay, so let me get the cracked pistachio, and we're just gonna go over them lightly. I want some of the shine to show through, but you know, I want them also to look aged. And if you get too much on, it'll come off on your fingers. In fact, I have to figure out a way. I think I have to seal these with a spray seal, because I'm afraid people touching it, it's gonna, I think that's enough. Now I said I wanted a little more, maybe down here of the green, and maybe up here somewhere, maybe along the edge even. Okay, I think that's enough. All right, now let's put it on a card. So I need the ink. So I brought out a basic gray A2 size card. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I am going to go around the edges. I went around it with the basic gray last time, but I'm going to use the black ink this time. Actually, I'm going to use the gray for the inside. So let me do that. This is the inside of the card. And I have no sentiment on it. I'm just doing, that has, I don't know if that's off this sponge. Those little fuzzies on the ink pad. Anyway, I'm just going to go around the edges to make it look a little more grunge. And I don't want it to be too dark. I have to watch my fingers, because my fingers have a little bit of yuck on them. Like I said, if you don't like to get your fingers dirty, wear gloves. But I figure I don't want to waste the gloves and have them go in the landfill and my hands can be washed. Let me see how that's looking. Okay, good enough for that. And then we'll do the card base with the black, and then we will assemble. Maybe I'll do these as 2 separate videos, because this is getting kind of long and I don't want to bore you. I'm going to open this up and go down here. Yeah, it is the sponge doing that. Huh. Weird. I had a little too much ink on that one. Yeah, maybe the gray would have been better. I don't know. Good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Yes, it does, Deb. It has to be perfect. Okay, let's get this out of the way and let's assemble. All right, I'm going to glue the inside on first. I should wipe my hands off before touching this, actually. And then let's bring our card front end. You know what? I'm not going to cut that off. I like that hanging over there. I think I do want a little more ink over here, though. If I can get it off a little darker, grungier looking. And down here. That'll do. Okay. Let's put it down. Let's put put some glue on there too. I like that hanging off the edge like that. I didn't think of that for the first one because it's shorter than, it's not as wide as 4 inches because I tore it, right? And I could have torn like a corner at the bottom and stuff too. Oh, and now I got it over further. Hang on. Bring it over just a little bit this way because I don't want that to interfere with the card movement. And then I just put this on and let it sit for a while. And I'll bring them both in and see which one we like better. I think I have more of the green on the background paper on this one. Let's see. So, yeah. I tore this a little too even up here, but it's okay. Oh, we forgot our blingy bling. That's what we do next. We're just going to use these again. Oh, I have these too. I like the copper, the same color as the wheels on here though. So, let's see. We'll put a little one. I had it in the big one last time. We'll put one actually over here like I did before. I had that as a big one. And then maybe, no, I don't want it in there. Maybe here, there, and we'll use a big one somewhere. Could put it in there, but I think I'm going to put it over here. There, we have our triangle with 3 jemmies. And they're still available, I think. I sometimes forget I have them, but I'm using them. So there's our 2 cards, Moments to Remember Together and Smile Today. Steampunk version with the gears, set of 2 gears, dies by Globeland, and this one's, oh, hang on, I'm trying to get a hold of them. Set of 2 gears that look like that from Globeland. And out of the pack of stamps that I got that had all kind of beachy things and everything, there was this one that had Zurich train and travel related stamps, which was one of the ones I thought, oh, I'll never be able to use that, but I think it went pretty well with the gears. What do you think? Let me know. So I'm going to come back with a separate video soon after this, and we'll go through how to make the butterfly box. I thought I'd do it in 2 separate, and then next week I'm going to make some things with the cat dies and other stamps out of this stamp set. Okay, maybe we'll have some cards and stuff with those coming up soon. So that'll be next week, probably next weekend. All right, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed watching this process. See you next time.